too. Beautiful Sunday coming at you. Let's go ahead and check in with the teams that are going to be facing off. Leftovers and Fnatic about to do battle.
So most of our preparations has gone to this match, while Leftovers had to prepare against every match. So I think we come in with more preparation than they do, and therefore we have the better odds of winning, in my opinion. I think the key player is Mopsio, and that's why they're usually a bit ahead of the meta even, and they always have drafts that suit them very well, and I think that's why they're actually a scary team. We created this Fnatic roster only with the purpose to qualify to BlizzCon, really, and not making it to the Western Clash was kind of a hit in the face, but we definitely got better since then, and we've been 6-1 this season, and I think we're the team that deserves it most as the third spot in Europe right now. BlizzCon is definitely the main goal for every single team that plays HOTS, and I think we're gonna make it.
The matchup against Fnatic is going to be the most difficult matchup of the year. I think we will do all what we can to beat them up, but at this moment, Last Hope improved a lot. Everybody on the Fnatic seemed to be on the same page, and we might need some kind of miracle to pull it off, but we still believe that we can make it as we did in the Part 1 Phase 2. Whoever wins it goes to BlizzCon, and whoever loses is having a very long vacation time.
Now, you've heard from the players, you've heard from Caldor and I want to hear from you guys at home. Who do you think is going to go to BlizzCon here for Europe? Will it be Leftovers? Will it be Fnatic? Hit us up on Twitter. Use the hashtag HGC at Heroes Esports, and we'll definitely check out and see what you guys got to say about everything.
Definitely. Hit us with the tweets. After every single game, I really want to know what you guys think, because this series is supposed to be hype. I cannot imagine that we're going to see a 3-0 today. Personally, I'm hoping for a 5-mapper, but even a 3-1 in any direction would be great here. And I can already promise you that we have also some crazy drafts prepared from both teams. As I said before, I talked to both of them for a long, long time, and we were theorizing about what they're planning, what they're thinking about. Several teams have now, for the playoffs, prepared strategies on certain maps. Might come out today, might not. Time will tell. Depends a lot on the drafts, of course, how they start and how people are following up on it. But I can definitely promise you that both of these teams have prepared a lot for this specific match. This is where everything's on the line. We heard it from Opsio. Either you qualify for BlizzCon or you have a long vacation coming up.
That's right. Well, let's go ahead and start this here. Battleground number 1 has been chosen, and we are ready to start this best-of-5 series. Remember, the first to 3 wins will be going to BlizzCon. Cursed Hollow will be our first map. Fnatic with the choice, looking over to bans. We actually have Volskaya Foundry Band and Dragonshine.
It's an interesting one already, because Fnatic wanted Cursed. They wanted to go to Cursed. This is the map that they picked the most out of all maps after we had the team starting to find their rhythm. And they were actually a bit worried that the Leftovers would ban Cursed out. They were looking at it as like, okay, if they ban Cursed, it's not like the worst thing in the world, but we really want to play the map,
yeah.
We really want to go there. And there was always the hope on their end that the Leftovers would stick with a ban on Dragonshire, since it's really the map where the Leftovers had a tough time.
Yeah.
They were 0-5, 0-6 on the map, and they started to ban it out consistently. So Fnatic is in a spot where they start on a map that they feel comfortable at. It's one of their go-to battlegrounds, and they really feel that they can start a victory here. So it's important from their perspective to start the series with a bit of a bang. They want to take the lead on one of their best maps and then carry that momentum into the series. And for Leftovers, it's of course a perfect opportunity to just shut that momentum down from the get-go and make sure that Fnatic doesn't even get a foothold in this match.
Very similar to what we saw them do against Method yesterday in game number 1. Give them a deep, find a way to beat that, and once you beat that, you can really take a team that feels confident, has that rock of a map, and just completely throw them off the wayside, throwing off their momentum, and Leftovers seem to really prey on top of that.
Yeah, so we have also, in terms of bans, Fnatic is going to target a lot of those Mayaps. Diablo banned out too. As they said before, they prepared for the Leftovers nearly exclusively. They looked at those drafts and they said, okay, what are the heroes we don't want to face? They have a couple of strategies prepared, but there's definitely elements of the Leftovers that they don't want to face in matches where they don't have to. And Maiev is a really good example. They just don't like that initiation that she provides for Leftovers and how good Kidney is. They leave Genji open though. and that's an immediate pick for the leftovers here.
A frustrating hero for you to deal with, and Leftovers aware of that and immediately move straight into the Genji, so Fnatic will have to be completely worrisome whenever they move into their draft. Certainly heroes like Phoenix might be something that you might not want to move into. Another hero that we've seen pretty often from Fnatic in the past is that Junkrat. Junkrat is a hero that has to be very, very careful against the Genji, so Fnatic may have to consider not picking him up. They will come out with a Sergeant Hammer and Tyrande, though, for their 1-2 here on Cursed Hollow.
Neominsk here, can't decide who to cheer for tonight. Hashtag HGC, Fnatic, Breeze, or Mopsio, the tank life.
Yeah.
Can absolutely understand that. And again, guys, hit us up at Heroes Esports. Send us your tweets, hashtag HGC. Send us your thoughts. What do you think about the series? What do you think about each and every map that's being played here? There's going to be a lot of action in this.
It's a really hard feeling to continually think about one team not going here. I mean,
it's crazy.
For a while,
before
coming to this, I was wrestling day in and day out. What do I want for Europe? What's the best representative? And Fnatic, I think, is who I landed on. And then I saw yesterday's matches, and I'm like, but if Leftover plays at that level, I mean, what region has a chance, right? Like, we want the best here that can take on Korea at BlizzCon. I don't know, man. It's just such a big toss-up for me.
It definitely is. I mean, looking at the draft right now, we're having the Haka taken, so you want to immediately control some of the global aspects of the game here. And Cursed Hollow, of course, is a fantastic map to run a global hero. Deckard Cain coming in for Linked again. The playmaker potential that he has with that hero has been shown from match to match. He's fantastic there. And how is Fnatic now going to react? You Rel banned out against them, so on the offlane we might see Last Hope, even could be on Leoric here, depends a lot on what they want to push him to, but what is Fnatic's next move?
We're about to find out here. It's going to be a Blaze, which is a safety pick for him, and then the Muradin will come out. Muradin, while he can be a bit of a nuisance in the front lane, can also jump back and try to help out if Genji goes in for a dive and try to separate that Deckard Cain to make sure no heals are coming in. It is going to be a little bit on the harder side to lock down that Genji, but if they do find that Storm Bolt, Sergeant Hammer definitely has a damage to ball that up.
I already have a bit of an inkling of what that last pick is going to be for Fnatic. I'm not going to spoil it here though, but Leftovers, they have the Dehaka, it's great for control. What's going to be the frontliner? We've seen a lot of Garrosh from them. ETC though, coming in. Mosh Pits did a lot of work for them in the past here. And we're having also Li Ming for reset. So with a good Mosh Pit set up by Mopsio and Li Ming following it up with the damage together with Genji. A lot of reset potential here on the side of the Leftovers. Very, very powerful draft if you get momentum in the fights.
Now we did mention that there's been a lot of Junkrat from Fnatic. I don't know if it'd be the pick here, especially with Genji being there and those resets coming in, but it would help out with the soak. But will it be something a little bit different here? As we alluded to earlier. Oh my gosh. Game 1. And we have a Sylvanas with a Sergeant Hammer composition.
Yep.
Are they just going to barrel down a lane? Is that the plan here for Fnatic?
So this is definitely one of the strategies that, again, they wanted Cursed Hollow. This is one of the reasons. They prepared several strategies for the Leftovers on Cursed Hollow, and the Sylvanas draft was one of them. And they said, we have a couple of maps and a couple of strategies that we're currently in scrims undefeated with. We have never shown them, and we're going to show them in the series. They believe in this. They look at this and they're saying, like, listen, this is the comp to break the spirit of the Leftovers in Game 1 and take the lead here. And they go for the Sylvanas on Mena. So it's going to be hype. There's a lot of siege potential here, and there's a lot of pressure that you have with this. But
I know it's playoffs, but is Mind Control a pickup for them here? There's no cleanse available on the opposing team.
Oh, I absolutely...
Lots of protection.
Oh, I think I'm not quite sure if I had that discussion with Valorian when you were on your vacation, but Mind Control is definitely right now the play. Over the silence. Like a lot of the times you want to get those isolation kills, you want to just like pull someone in and then get the quick kill there. So I would be shocked if it isn't Mind Control for them.
I would be shocked as well. It makes Genji play incredibly safe. Suddenly Deckard Cain can't step up as easily.
Exactly.
So many things that happen here. And then if you have to protect him, say the Mind Control is not the best thing optimally. You have Blaze immediately there for the bunker. You have Murder can jump up in the front. I'm excited for this
By the way, this is Game 1.
This is Game 1! In a best-of-5 series here, Fnatic and Leftovers facing off, fighting for BlizzCon. Who will earn the win today and be our third representative? It's time to find out here as we head into Cursed Hollow, the map pick here for Fnatic.
Sylvanas in the composition, Leftovers versus Fnatic. We have global heroes for the Leftovers, though. Something that they can throw against them to maybe mitigate some. You could even think about ETC starting to switch it up a little bit if he's really afraid of getting value out of the mosh pit, instead heading into the stage dive. here and adding a second global to the equation. But we're heading in right now as the first game of the playoff match starts with Mena for Fnatic on the left side, playing Sylvanas. We're seeing Breeze on Mirrodin, trying to hit those storm bolts. Shrimpy on Sergeant Hammer. Smaxy currently playing Tyrande here, and Last Hope, last but not least, playing Blaze.
On the right side, gonna be trying to figure out how to play against the Sylvanas. The linked here will be on Deckard Kane, dropping down all the heals, following up with the Stay Wild listens typically. Black Kitten on the other side will be playing Genji, trying to figure out if she can dive for those back lines. Boss here will be showing off to Haka. We're gonna have ETC played by Mopsio, and DAB, the All-Star, one that we talk about week after week, is going to be playing Li Ming.
This is what it all comes down to. Leftovers. They said this is where they really need to shine. This is the last and final test for them. And Fnatic, they said from the get-go, the only team that we prepared for the playoffs are the Leftovers. They're going to be the ones that make it to that final match, and we are going to be ready with drafts that they don't expect and also with coordination that they can't best.
So we can keep an eye on Sergeant Hammer and Sylvanas here. Whenever a kill pops in, typically you'll see Sylvanas go for a rotation and attempt to try and lock down those turrets, get a little bit of damage in, try to figure out where Leftovers are, with Genji showing himself in the middle lane, and it makes that rotation in the bottom to hang out with Tyrande, who will be providing those heals. And you just let Shwimpy do his thing. Mana can slow down those minions too when he drops in the dagger.
The siege potential with the Sylvanas and Hammer composition is absolutely terrifying, of course. Whenever you get momentum on the map by taking down a hero or two, you can siege up on the lanes. You have a lot of potential to make bosses even more powerful, even outside of a curse, and that's exactly what they're going to be looking for in the long run, trying to gain that momentum and never let it go. Sylvanas, when she is in an advantageous position, when she's pushing, she's always powerful, and that's what the team is going to be looking for. And at the same time, she provides a lot of teamfight aspects too. You talked about mind control earlier, but it's also the mobility within a teamfight that is absolutely fantastic if you play her well.
Yeah, that and also the Shadow Dagger, if you move into it at level 4, you can have it spreading constantly opposed to other heroes, making it to where they don't want to group up. And if you're not getting grouped up, suddenly Sergeant Hammer can find those heroes that are isolated, pop out that damage with that ring that she continues to control, and then on top of it, you have a Murden who can jump up, find an isolation, and get a Tyrande Lunar Flare. So Sylvanas here definitely provides a lot in a team fight, especially with her recent buffs that she's had, what, 4 or 5 patches ago?
Yeah. Overflowing Quiver now as the level 1 talent for Mena. On level 4, he's going straight into the Q ability again with the Withering Barrage here. Helps you to get some burst damage out. It's definitely absolutely cool when you are attacked by someone just to get that quick damage out. Later on, of course, you can get those resets on the stacks. Again, the adjustment, by the way, for DAB on his level 4, going into Toremford here with the Arcane Orb, so focusing on that aspect of the Orb build. Haven't really seen any of the players within Europe follow through with it completely throughout the later Orb talents, but the level 4 adjustment is now starting to become a bit more common.
I mean, at level 7, you'll be looking to maybe upgrade your Seeker Missiles a little bit more. We've seen that more get Sergeant Hammer. We got it a little bit more in North America. We've dabbled it a couple times in Europe, but the idea is very similar to a Chromie.
Yeah, you try to adjust to the range that Hammer has just simply. And normally you get some value out of the talent. You mentioned Seeker that we have seen a few times. That is basically an idea in the same vein. You just try to capitalize on the range and make sure that there's extra damage that you can immediately push out if you get the full combo off in particular.
So first tribute of the game will be here to the top side. Sergeant Hammer is in the middle lane, but Fnatic has some tools to delay in the middle. Big power side on top of Breeze here. He's trying to retreat. 20 bucks will have a drag, but Breeze delivers a Storm Bolt and sidesteps it. Should be able to put some damage on the front line, but Linked does not get delayed. Last Hope, hoping to land the fire there, does not get the shot.
The one thing from Fnatic's perspective that I'm also worried of, if I compare Fnatic and Leftovers right now, Fnatic, I feel, in a scenario where they can stay calm, where they can just execute the strategies that they prepared, I feel has an edge in the series. The one big disadvantage of Fnatic, in my opinion, is that they are they can be a very emotional team. So if they lose on a map with a draft that they prepared, that they believe in, or maybe if they just are overwhelmed in one team fight, there's a mistake, maybe an individual one, I can totally see that the team is starting to become nervous, and that could be the downfall of Fnatic in the long run. So from a mental perspective and how you approach the map, I really think that the Leftovers have more going for them, since they see themselves more in an underdog position. They see themselves with all the momentum that they accumulated over Phase 2, and also in the last series. So I think they are a lot more stable in that sense. Fnatic goes into this and says, we were the ones who had only to prepare for one opponent. We did that. We have our drafts. And I'm worried for them if those drafts don't work out for them. I'm worried for them if they fall behind. Can they really then just you know, like turn it around in their head and simply say, okay, let's reset and come back and start it again.
I mean, even looking at the Leftovers, they have the history to prove that they're a bit more stable too. That happened at the Western Clash, day number 2.
Absolutely.
They got into a rut where they thought, okay, maybe we could actually do well here. And some of the players on the team got nervous because of that. DAB in particular started to really struggle. And the team was able to anchor, Mobsio in particular, came up and said, listen guys, we are here to play for fun. And they were able to bounce back the next day, so they definitely have that history. Speaking about bouncing back, Sergeant Hammer gets pulled in, as we have a major coming in from DAB. He gets a reset, and we find a kill on Hammer.
Even Smexy in trouble, and he goes down to the double kill as Fnatic loses 2 heroes, and a lot of that came down to Portiboss. Portiboss moved in immediately, and he realized, of course, that we have the siege tactics on the side of Shrimpy, and he was trying to bait that out, and he did it perfectly. He walked up to him, he faked it on, and then Shrimpy, pulling the trigger on his level 4, used it, and once the unstoppable frames were over, then Dehaka turns around, connects the drag, and that's the downside there. Immediately for Shrimpy. He goes down, and then the second kill happens as Mobsio flanks in and gets the power slide.
And now we have Leftovers the lead in tributes, 2-0 right now. If they can find this third one, that will be cursed. However, with this positioning set up, Fnatic is in a spot where they can defend this area quite easily. So Leftovers will have to play it slow, maybe play towards that level 10. Kitty jumps over, goes in for a bit of harassment, and then backs out.
They're attacking the boss here at the same time, and that's a really, really tricky play on the side of Fnatic. Very risky, as we're seeing the Jack connect with Blaze. Still alive for now. Barrels out Mena, takes the boss in the meantime. Great play by them here. They already are prepping the bot lane to get massive potential game-ending pressure at the bot lane. Interrupt attempt again versus Linked. He channels once more, but this is a curse that Fnatic can actually eat.
So Curse pops in. The boss will continue to push on that fort in the bottom, and it will take that fort. The Giants to the left are going to start pushing in towards the fort of Fnatic. We'll see if Leftovers are going to try and push with that. Yes, they will. They'll have the Haka there. The rest of them actually group up in the middle and slide off ETC to the top, who has come for that stage dive, by the way. So Leftovers going for double global play here on the map.
Yeah. You see you are going up against the Sylvanas with the mind control, and then immediately stage dive becomes such a tempting option because you know the value you're going to get out of your mosh pit is very, very slim. Yep. You already have a Tyrande against you, you have a Mirrodin there, there's so many interrupts that we see from Fnatic. Sylvanas adds another one, and all of a sudden Mopsy just says, hey, we're better off if we're trying to play the global game.
Yeah, and if you get a target that's picked off by that mind control and pulled in the team, suddenly ETC can stage dive in with them, maybe find that protection, knock somebody away. Stage dive just naturally works very well with the composition that they are playing against here for Fnatic. So we have currently, for an update, we have a full curse happening here for all of the Leftovers, and they're setting up for a push here in the middle and the top. If they can get some forts here, they can jump up in experience.
But let's talk about that curse. I think it's a really, I mean, as far as good curses go, it's an acceptable curse for Fnatic since they have that boss pushing at the bot lane. That's really going to help them to just negate some of the pressure that Leftovers can push onto them. And the boss is going to find value no matter what. So they have to focus on 2 other lanes, but Leftovers are still getting a fair amount of value. Stage dive comes in, Smexy barely getting away here. Nice attempt on the side of Leftovers. Kidney isn't even done yet. Jumps in deep and looks for the reset, but he doesn't find it and uses the extra to get out just as Last Hope is trying to maintain the counterplay. Fnatic with the engage now. Here comes the BFG and down goes Li Ming. DAP is done. The mind control hits the Arcane and Link goes down.
Link gets pushed in and Fnatic will keep all 5 up. They will lose their 2 forts, but they win the team fight. Leftovers forced to retreat. Now Fnatic is on clean up duty. They need to get rid of these Giants down here in the bottom left, but at least are able to stop that full aggressive play from Leftovers as Kidney was diving for Tyrande.
And now look at the map and the situation we find ourselves in. The fort at the bot lane is on both sides eliminated, but it's a better position for Fnatic because it's their boss at the bot lane. It's easier for them to access that boss, and this will put the pressure onto the bottom lane continuously. Whereas Leftovers boss towards the top side on their side of the map would still have to go through half a fort. So the position a little bit better for Fnatic. In experience, the Leftovers still have a lead though. It's not a big one, but it might be the question of, do you have the talent advantage during a fight, yes or no?
Leftovers will have to consider being cautious before in the next fight. Typically with a Savant's composition, if you have 2 people picked off on your team, Fnatic can group up, push across the map, and take out a fort. Now, Curse Hall is a bit bigger, and we are still early in the game. We're not even at the 9-minute mark, so the death timers are low. But the next time that happens, death timers suddenly increase, and Fnatic has more time to take away structures with Sylvanas.
But you can already see how Fnatic is trying to use that combo with Hammer and with Sylvanas the entire time. And Smexy is joining them whenever he can. He's staying far in the back, but that's of course where that stage stage dive on ETC together with Dehaka is also an issue. It's not only about running the macro game. You can try and jump into the backline with 2-3 heroes easily. Stage dive on ETC, Genji with a quick swift strike, and then on top of that Dehaka burning in. So that's currently what the leftovers are looking for, those backline kills.
At the same time, Fnatic can be careful and make sure to hold on that Lunar Flare. If a Lunar Flare comes out right when the stage dive comes in, they can turn around and focus down ETC. So Mopsy will have to be cautious of that, but it is certainly a major threat that leftovers have.
Main has now a fantastic tool as well, the Will of the Forsaken. So not only Sergeant Hammer, but he as well now has that unstoppable and the additional movement speed bonus too, that he can really use whenever ETC is looking for that power slide, for example, or when Dehaka is looking for that tongue. So Mena has a fantastic tool here on 13. He's of course not the only one. The healing static for Murden is going to be great for them here. And this is another tribute spawning. But still, the global aspects in the hand of the leftovers, and that's where Dehaka is now starting to push through the bot lane as the rest of the team is attempting to delay Fnatic.
Fnatic sets up, here comes the stage dive, Jet Propulsion goes in for a stun, they will hit Mopsio, but no Lunar Flare follow-up afterwards. Dehaka comes in from behind, tries to go in for the tongue, but misses.
Nice bunker here being used immediately, and leftovers are split now. In a bit of an awkward position here, they need to be careful. Boss, nice burrow, very well done by him. Well, the Kidney in the back attacking again, but still the zone against Dehaka, and he goes down first. Breeze in the middle of things, still has his avatar. Iron Control comes through, Mopsio in trouble, they're trying to go for him, but DAB tries to keep him alive here while still firing away with Liming.
Last hope's getting low mana though. If he goes for a Jet Propulsion, he'll be pretty close to no mana at all, but the good news for Fnatic is they have all 5. They continue to step up. Now, Dehaka will be back up in about 13 seconds. He won't fully have that Brush Sucker. He will get close to having it. So Fnatic needs to push forward and attempt to grab this tribute. But Kidney comes in from behind to delay, but he's eating some damage.
Yeah, leftovers is getting a bit of a beating here in that fight. They're trying to delay for Dehaka, and Dehaka is going to be back. But Smexy again with a channel attempt. Time is working in leftovers' favor. The camp at the bot lane will eventually get towards the keep, but right now the leftovers are struggling to get value here. Dehaka comes in, the tribute is channeled already though. Shrimpy with the unstoppable frames here, trying to dodge out as Mopsio engages, but he's not the only one. Boss is there too, and now we have Mopsio in the corner.
He's trying to get the armor in to stay alive. Breeze pops the avatar, just pop it in. There we go. Murden will fall, but Kidney will be next. Here's a BFG for good measure. Big Jet Propulsion comes in, and Linked will expire.
Fnatic goes in with a triple kill, takes down 3, and now starts to walk towards the boss immediately. One tribute taken by them already. The second one about to spawn at the bot lane. Siege Giant still doing work. And Fnatic will have to react to it eventually, but they're willing to sacrifice at least the outer wall to get this boss at the top lane.
The question is, who do you send down here? Do you just send Blaze and then push with the 4-man? You're going to be missing out on some protection because you won't have that bunker, because you want Sylvanas to be with this push if you're going to try and get any value out of this boss. But at the same time, Mana has no mana whatsoever. It's a very difficult decision here for Fnatic.
Yeah, Mena at this point is already backing. He's saying like, yeah, we got this here. They take the second tribute. I mean, they're in a good spot now. 15.5. They have the boss at the top lane. It's going to get the fort. Not much more than that. But Fnatic's position here is fantastic. Completed quest on Murden, of course, as well. So he gets the cooldown reduction on his auto attacks. And it's 6 kills against 2 with a lead in structures on the map. A talent advantage too. Leftovers, they need to find some way into this. And an isolation kill through the globals would be ideal, but it's tough to pull off against Fnatic, who are now playing very safe.
Especially when you're playing against a Sergeant Hammer composition that naturally just grooves up. The only one that should be split now is Blaze, but he's pretty hard to gank if he ever has that Jet Propulsion or even the bunker here for defense. So Fnatic sets up on the bottom left. The leftovers aware that there is a boss in the field. Only let their globals be seen on the map. With Li Ming finally being spotted on the bottom right, though, it's a mind control into a Lunar Flare, into a Breeze Hop. He has a Storm Bolt. Can he land it? BFG comes in with a connection while Mopsio stage dives, but it's too late.
The BFG kill there right away. Down goes DAB. Li Ming eliminated, and there's another Storm Bolt. The follow-up is there through Smexy, and ETC gets punished. We oftentimes talked about the downsides of ETC when you can't keep him alive, when he's not the one that leads to an immediate kill, and Leftovers currently experiencing that firsthand. They don't have Urel with him for the extra armor, nor do they have Blaze for a bunker, and they are getting punished heavily now. Curse already hitting the Leftovers, and Fnatic is going for another boss. They are going to try and get the first keep of the game with this attack.
I mean, they might even go straight for core here. A boss pushing in with Curse coming in. You had Murden soak the middle lane, so he got all of that experience. He can rotate down to his teammates and make sure the Giants are not being grabbed by Leftovers. Leftovers just about to hit level 16 themselves, but Fnatic is setting up with a massive push. All they have to do here is protect Sergeant Hammer and let Sylvanas do what she wants to do, and they should be able to take this keep and maybe look for more.
Yeah, the mid lane is already getting pressure value just through that camp that has been taken, so really. It's a multi-pronged attack from Fnatic, but the main focus is at that bot lane, as you already identified, and they are going to look for way more than the keep. If they can get a kill here, they can definitely push this forward towards the core.
Wait for the mind control. Here it is. Kane is the one that pulled in. Sylvanas gets damage on the back line. Mane is trying to stay protected here. Goes in with the Sylvanas, attempts to retreat, but Kitney on the back line gets hit by a storm bolt, and Mane actually will survive.
Great job by Smexia, great job by Mane. Both of them trying to turn around against Kidney. Last hope is at the front here. Still tries to move away. The stuns are coming out. The collapse from Breeze. The boss walking towards the core as the keep is already gone. Mid lane also in trouble as the curse ends Fnatic with a 2-level lead here in game 1.
I can't believe Mane and Last Hope survived that entire engagement, but it doesn't matter. Leftovers still have to focus on this boss. It's down to half HP. Big stage dive on the back line into a power slide. Mafio finds 2, and we have resets coming in from DAB.
Great play here by the Leftovers. They're still losing points on the core, though. They have to deal with that, but they are looking for more kills. They're going for Breeze right now, and the Dwarf is hopping away. The interrupt attempt by ETC not quite working out. Breeze dodging the Tornado, buying some time, clapping away with a healing static and finding value. Eventually,
he has a jump,
but he jumps out again, and he might just be able to get away after all.
Easy breezy. Breeze attempting to get out, but Partybus even coming in. Can Partybus get the drag Breeze with all the jukes? But it's not enough. Like Kitney finally comes in, and that's a staggered death.
Gets the staggered death here, 30-second gap between the two, but Mena already trying to create more pressure on the map by taking a CG9 cap. 61% on Leftovers core in game 1. A level behind for them. The keep in the mid lane has taken a beating, but it's still standing.
Look at Fnatic, and they have to be completely content with that. Even though they lost multiple members, getting the keep, as you mentioned, taking down some damage on top of that core, the Leftovers has no ability to push across the map and break anything down. Fnatic still has a level lead as well. All they have to do is wait for all 5 to respawn, and they're perfectly fine.
And you look at the map and you immediately realize there's nothing for the Leftovers to take. Nothing of consequence. They claim a bruiser camp, but no bosses up. There are no curses. There's no tribute. Even if they get a tribute, it would be their first one after the curse they got earlier. So they're in a position where those kills are fantastic for them. They bring them back in experience, but they can't establish map control through them.
The one thing they can do is use that double global to at least get all the lanes pushed out so they can decide to fight around this tribute on the top side. And also soak as much experience as possible. Fnatic is buying time right now, playing it safe as they can, staying near their turrets. Leftovers will make a play for the point on the top left. At least they can get an experience hike, which will jump them up to about 19.25. So they are right behind Fnatic as we move towards that level 20, and they can afford to give up this next tribute if they need to. But Partybus might be in trouble. Breeze comes in, there's the burrow. He was trying to dodge out in the Stormbolt.
Nice bait here. Stormbolt is in, jet propulsion not used yet, but the rotations are happening now. And Leftovers are back. Boss is still alive. And we have the first boss up. Boss at the top lane has respawned. Shrimpy wants the 20 and is going to get it soon, but the same is true for the Leftovers. Storm Talons, the next big milestone for both of the teams.
Kind of wish I would have seen a little bit more aggression from ETC in the top left. There could have been a full wait for him to soak, especially with Partybus fighting a lot of the damage in the bottom right. But Mopsio plays safe there. That will mean that they are still behind a quarter level when it comes to that 20.
This is the time where the globals are really going to pay dividends for the Leftovers. The big open map, all of the forts eliminated. So much space now to push out these lanes. Fnatic trying to fight around the 20. They're trying to force the fight on the Storm Talons. They're going in here, trying to prep it. The Kidney jumps in, jumps out, and Fnatic is still thinking, do we really want to go for this right now? Do we want to take that fight against the Leftovers? And they decide against it.
You have to be worried about isolation. You're naturally grouped up in that choke. You have a Sergeant Hammer near you. If a contagion gets popped off because Dahaka was soaking 20, you could die and throw the game.
They also bought the time to at least channel the tribute through, so that gives them more time in the long run. They can now give several up before they really have to take a fight if they don't like the position that they have going into it. But of course, a big problem for Fnatic is now that with Deckard Cain having the Endless Flasks, there is great setup potential for the Leftovers to force a fight on their own terms if they engage into a boss battle.
Especially if they have time. Mopsio moves up to grab the Watchtower here in the top left corner, just trying to get as much vision as possible. You need to figure out where Sergeant Hammer is on the map so you can decide on how you want to play the map macro-wise. While we still have those Catapults pushing in the bottom lane, Dahaka is constantly heading over there, grabbing Giants and making sure they don't push towards the Leftovers. So Fnatic will start to move up for the second tribute, and we'll see if Leftovers will go for that engage. Looking over to DAB here, who has not gone for repulsion, by the way, looks for extra damage with his level 20 pickup.
Yeah, with the Turtle Rushes here. The game also just changed. Boss spawned bot side. And now Leftovers have to be very, very careful about what happens around the bottom of the map.
Dahaka spots it. Needs to make sure he doesn't get mind controlled. Savas is going forward.
Oh.
Burrow, nice. Stage dive.
ETC comes in, they're forcing the 5 versus 4, but Li Ming isn't there yet. The resets are on the way though. Fnatic might have overstepped a little bit. Breeze is moving in. Here comes the bunker, keeping him alive for now. But DNB from the backside finds Smexy, takes down Tyrande, gets the kill. Last Hope attempting to escape here, but the chase is on.
Look, and he's about to have a Swiss strike here. He goes in and he finds Last Hope. And Leftovers immediately turn their attention towards the boss. Fnatic, only having 4 defense, should not be able to contest this. Now, there is a camp in the middle pushing it towards that keep. Leftovers are most likely going to forfeit that if they do not have a global available, which means there will be 2 waves of catapults coming in. But can they end with the boss? That is the question.
Exactly. They're going to try and end with the boss here. They know that the keep in the mid lane is falling. They're saying this is the only chance that we have. Fnatic was looking for the mind control kill, and they nearly got it, but Polyboss reacted perfectly when he heard the sound coming in, and now we're having 20 seconds for Tyrande. 30 for Last Hope. The keep in the mid lane is gonna fall. Fnatic, if they hold the core, they will most likely win this game, but the Leftovers think that they have a chance here to end game number 1.
The mind control comes in to be for Link. Link underneath the keep here, but the boss will be able to grab the pressure. Mana able to back up, start healing up too. We're gonna have Tyrande in about 3 seconds. Sergeant Hammer doing all the damage she can, but the Leftovers, they want to go for the killing blow.
Here's Smexy. Smexy's in, gets the first stun out. The boss still healthy, starting to move in here. The Leftovers go in, the BFG already out. Survives for now. Deckard Kane is down, the Lonado still coming out. The second kill against Li Ming, a big one. The boss going through the shield, so half HP. Stage dive coming in again, and Fnatic is fighting for their life in game number 1. The core is down to 30% though. 20 going down to 10, and the Leftovers take their game and take the lead in the series.
The Leftovers able to win a game thanks to a Burrow on a mind control and a proper rotation by them. Incredibly well done. The double globals paying off for them. But what a game between these two. In the early and the mid stages, Fnatic able to start controlling the map, grabbing the bosses, getting a curse, but Leftovers, being as diligent as ever, are able to find the win in the end.
Fantastic game here by both teams. Fnatic running a really tight ship the entire time. Then around 20, they feel they need to make something happen. They're looking at the bot lane. They know that the Leftovers have to posture around the boss. So they know someone is going to be there. One of the players is going to check the boss because Leftovers have to control the bot lane boss. And then they see their Haka and they say, okay, we get this. They only split off Breeze to the top. That's where ETC is. And then the decision to go into the stage dive, even with the Haka on your team, pays dividends as we have that quick fight forced. We see Li Ming coming in a bit late into the fight, but DAB comes in from behind, gets the perfect combo off against Smexy just as he comes out of the bunker, and that's the end of it right there. Tyrande goes down. Shortly after that, Blaze falls too, and they say, okay, give up the keep in the mid lane. What do we care about that?
Yeah.
The core is already on 60%. If that game goes longer, at any point when we lose a hero to Fnatic can end. We need to end it right now, and they actually pull it off.
And what a heads-up play by Polyboss in particular. That was twice in a row that he was the focus for Fnatic. They were trying to pick him off so they can get a number advantage and decide how they want to proceed throughout the entire game. Polyboss was able to dodge out on a Murden gank in the bottom right the first time, waiting for his teammates to show up, and the second time, waiting for the perfect timing to make sure that a mind control would come out, go on a 10-second cooldown, but also prevent him from being pulled in the team. If that was ETC, ETC would have died.
Yeah.
But having that Burrow on hand for Polyboss allowed for him to be able to put his team in a spot to win. Incredible play by him, and a huge shout out